Okay, so welcome to the Node.js package maintenance team meeting for December 3rd, 2019. We'll follow the agenda which was posted in the issue number 289. First of all, we'll start out with, does anybody have any announcements they'd like to share? I guess the one that I will share is that there is an Express Triage subgroup meeting, which is happening today at 11:30 Eastern. So just making sure that people who are interested are aware of that. If there's no other announcements, we'll move on to the issues that were tagged in the issues. So the first one is 282, 2FA in CI. So Dominicus, I think you opened that one.
I don't think there's been any update. I think we're waiting for Darcy and folks from NPM to link to an RFC, and we'll see where we take it from there. I think we can remove the agenda label until we have more news.
Okay, because Darcy, that's like the initial RFC. Is that a 1 week kind of thing, or longer than that?
Yeah, about like another week or so. We should have an update there.
Okay, I'm just thinking maybe it's worth leaving on for then, just as a reminder to take a look at it if we haven't. Okay. Oops, or 1 week. Okay, so the next issue is the Collab Summit topic. Glenn, I think, I don't know if you were helping out with that.
Yes. Can you, am I audible? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we have to get together this, and this might be one. We have the community corner one, and then we have what we're going to do in the actual collaborators conference. Do we want to actually get together at the conference to flesh this out, or do we want to try and do it before next week? That was the question, because that was asked.
Right. It's going to be pretty tough, I think, at the conference.
Okay, so
at least for me.
Okay, so what my proposal would be for this would be, I can write something up. It'll be along the lines of the thing we did last year in Berlin. So this is what we do. This is why we exist. You know, this is our, modus operandi. We're looking for people to come along and collaborate. And I can get that done in the next day or so and put something up on a Google Docs, and we can talk through it. It'll be very much along the lines of what we've done before, but generally a sort of a selling of what we're doing so people understand it.
Yep. And that would be for the community corner, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Community
yep.
corner on that one. And for the other one, I thought we were going to pretty much follow the talk you gave at the other one. Conference in Ireland.
Well, so I have a talk, the same talk, which I'm going to give, but I think for the collaborator summit, the idea was just a working session where we'll get together and talk about a number of the issues, basically an in-person meeting. Now the schedule seems to be like single tracked. So I don't know, like we might want to be ready to redo what we did at the community corner just in case.
Okay, do you know what time the community, I know we just submitted it. Do you have any ideas what time was? That's completely, we don't know yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen any sort of schedule for that yet.
Okay, we'll discover when we get it. So don't worry, I'll write something up in the next couple of days. I'll get it up there and we can go through and critique it. And there's one thing I should have said in the announcement. LJ Harb's LTS build things with Travis. I've started using those. Those work quite nicely. I should have said that at the beginning. That is a good advancement there. But yeah, I'll have something up in the next day and I'll promote it within the group.
Okay, that sounds good. Because I think if we have that for the community corner, we plan on making it just a working session. We had a list of topics there. If it is just the single track and everybody's there, we might go through the same deck that you put together, but we'll play that by ear, I think is good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Any more discussion on that before we move on? Okay, the next one that was tagged was 241, which is the future direction for support field. That hit the 7 days, so I landed it yesterday. So I don't think anything too much specific to talk about that one. We do have number 192 though. And that one, I think we could spend a little bit of time just working on in terms of it lists. Oh, that's not the right thing that I just pasted, sorry. It is 192 though. So 192 has sort of a list of things that we want to do going forward. So let me pull that up, and I think I'll try and share it. So I thought maybe we could spend a few minutes just going through and saying, okay, what is it that we need to do here? So I think actually we need to
Got my dongle.
update.
I'm not sure this one works.
So we want to update or replace the tool, because I think we had a tool, but since we've changed things significantly, that needs to be updated. Make sure we follow our own guidelines in publishing of the tool. Yeah. Get input from 2 of the friendly module owners. Yeah, final review and promote docs from drafts. I'm just looking at this. Any other things that people see? So this one, move tool over to node repo, I don't think is applicable anymore because we're not doing that. And so package phobia, does anybody remember the context on that?
This kind of went back to LJ's the sort of the minimal and the maximal sort of argument about how much should be in and how much shouldn't be in, and we engaged them, but it kind of petered out within there. I think basically because we've agreed that both views are quite valid, and we don't have a problem with either because they are both valid, minimal and maximum. But this does depend upon future support from NPM.
Okay, so is there anything we need to have? I guess since we checked it off, we basically said we've done what we need to do at this point, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just looking at so these were the things we had in terms of the next steps. Are there other things that people can think about? I think we did this, so, oops. Okay, why can't I get that to delete? Okay. So we want to update the tool. And then I guess we want to like evangelize and get additional input, right? So this might actually go up here. Are there any other key steps that we think in terms of rolling out the support levels and?
I think we're good with me.
I'm going to maybe add support info modules within the Node.js org. It's probably a good step too. Okay, I guess if people don't have any thoughts at this point or suggestions, just maybe think a little bit about it. We need to start pushing on the next steps there. And if you have any other ideas, let's get them added in there and we'll start working through that. I think in terms of the tool, yeah, there's been some recent-ish, no recent discussion. Okay. So it's gonna, Wes, since they're not here, can you? Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna take quick notes here. Okay, so moving on to the next issue, the standard grammar keywords with reference to Node.js release lines. I went through the release repo and the node repo, and I couldn't find anything that I thought needed to be updated. So I've closed that one. It doesn't mean I didn't miss something. So if you do see something, let me know or submit a PR, but otherwise I think we're closed on that one. And then the document current top 10 Express issues. I don't think there's anything new to really report on that. I think we just want an update on Wes, like is the status board, if it's still work in progress or live. Once it's live, we can probably close this. So that was what was tagged for the agenda. Any other things we think we should talk about this week?
We never really followed up on, sorry, on the support level blog that we actually started, and that kind of petered out because we had some other ones that just kind of bring that up again. That was on the 192, I think. We actually did start doing that with a Google Doc. You and I and Manuel. It's just.
So I think we do want to rekindle that as part of, I think we were. Yeah, we basically just need to restart that. We have all the information since we went through the discussion, came to an agreement. We can still highlight, where the discussion was. So it's just a matter of, re-kicking that off. How do you think we should best do that?
Well, I think we have a fairly good write-up of what's in. We just need to go because it will be out of date. And I don't know if anybody heard about. There's been some other progressions. Just the other day, GitHub. There was sort of a. I listened to a podcast. They're looking for like funding support at the sort of the GitHub level, and I don't know if people have actually heard about that. So there've been some other sort of advancements, and I'll try and put up a link to that somewhere that I haven't heard anyone talk about this. It seems very similar in some ways to our support field. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find a link to
It'd be worth looking at what's there and how it overlaps or not overlaps and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I guess what I'm thinking at this point, like maybe we could target to get our blog out in January. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yes. I think that gives us a good.
from my perspective, it's like next week, a number of people will be at Interactive, and then it gets into Christmas season. So I don't know, maybe it would
Yes.
make sense if, would you want to like try and schedule a meeting for us to do a review and hopefully get it out early January?
I think so. Let us try and see what we can do over this period next week, and I'll send out some. I'll update it, and I think we need to widen it so more people can review it. Perhaps we should just make it open to everyone that joins these calls so they can read it. It's just like 4 of us.
Yeah, we could just put it into an issue.
Okay, yeah.
That way, basically, it's visible, people can comment, and I don't think we're worried about getting too much visibility, right?
Yeah, we're not.
Okay, any other things? Okay, I guess then we'll give everybody back some time this week. If you're going to be
sorry.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I did open up, I did add a label. We don't have to do it today, but there's an issue for best practices managing LTS and release lines. That's 172.
Okay, let me just get that up.
And basically, yeah, I'm just wondering how we want to progress that specific issue.
Sorry, which issue? Which number was it again?
172.
172. Okay.
Yeah, so not one.
Okay, so this one.
Yeah, so this is basically about trying to figure out as a package maintainer, right, how do you do LTS and what are the practices there? So I went through the thread. I think there were a couple of discussions there around trying to automatically backport commits and all of that, which kind of came to the conclusion that it's not exactly feasible or would require more effort than it would be
right
useful. So the next thing is we probably want to write up a similar best practice document as we have for everything else. But then I figured that there's probably a lot of documents out there in the wild on how you do best practices for basically branching and maintaining multiple release lines.
Right.
So I wonder if there's a lot of point in trying to figure, trying to write up our own if we can link to something. And then the other comment I have there is that there's probably already existing tooling that makes that easier. So as an example, I'm familiar a little bit with semantic release. So there's a beta. I'm not sure if it does that in the latest version, but in the beta version, it does have multi-branch and maintenance release support. And it is a tool. It is a specific tool. So as long as if we're trying to avoid mentioning or recommending specific tools, I don't know of any other similar tools, so put it this way, that we could include in the list.
Right.
Yeah, just wanted to bring up this discussion and see if we can move this forward somehow, because yeah, might be something I might be willing to pick up.
Well, certainly from my perspective, if there's only one tool, it's not bad to mention it. And even if we say, and for example, here's one way you can do it with the tool, and we could leave it open to if there's some other tool that people wanted to PR in similar examples. So I think we can handle, the mentioning a specific tool that way.
Sure.
And I definitely agree if there's existing documentation, let's reuse. But it would be interesting to kind of think through if there's the LTS process that we talked about where, you support a node LTS version or whatever.
Yeah.
Working through that and seeing, what it looks like and what tools would be very valuable. So yeah, it's how do you think is it best to get started? Trying to do a survey, trying to write down, do we have a good enough documentation of what the process is, or?
Yeah, so just not sure right now myself, right? This is why
Okay.
I raised this, yeah. I think there are some node-specific aspects of maintaining a node-specific package and maintaining the LTS for that. And because as you mentioned, there's the supporting LTS versions, and just the fact that if you have an LTS version of your package, you may want to align the release dates or the support dates to Node LTS support dates.
Right. Yep.
Simply because, like, if Node 6 drops off, you cannot drop Node 6 off without bumping major. But if you've already bumped major for the next release, then you can't just drop it. So although there's precedent for that,
I think that's something working to be like worthwhile working through, because like if you've actually stated that your support policy is LTSs and there's an expectation that it's going to drop when LT6 goes out of LTS, does that change things?
Yeah,
I don't know, right?
There's also the case that I'm not sure if we can also specify the package LTS using the existing support grammar. I mean, we can list the versions, I suppose, in the support levels, right? We can target specific versions there.
Well,
yeah,
the grammar that's there, the one that says LTS actually points to the one that's tied to the node LTS. Like in terms of saying like this is going to support the, the node versions, the LTS versions, and that, for a major, you're not necessarily going to have to upgrade the major version of the package itself.
I'm just going to write that down, that we have to note specific LTS things. I need to node LTS, not on the major, and then including the support levels. Okay. Do we know of any packages? So I know that the module insights thing, it lists some of the packages as having LTS label. I'm not sure what that LTS label means. I know that the module insights thing is a bit of an experiment, but
if you look in the grammar, there's a link to that.
All right.
Yeah. Let me just pull that up. GitHub package maintenance. Oops. No, sorry. Oops. Okay, I've got to get it right.
I think I have it in my history, modules.cloudnative.js.
So there we go. So we go to docs, drafts. All right, so in here, right, so it's got the link down here. So full details are here. So wait a second, that may not be the right, is that the wrong link? Okay, that may not be the link that was intended.
Nope. Yeah,
okay, wait a second.
There we go. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at.
Although really that should be the link I think that's in that document.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll read through this one. I was not aware of this doc.
Yeah, and so that's what links back to those other modules which were LTS.
Okay, yeah.
But I think like working through what that means and like how you would maintain them in that way would definitely be a good thing.
Okay, yeah, so I was looking for modules in the ecosystem that have applied LTS. I know Happy does that, but other than that, wasn't sure. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and here are the ones that specifically, I guess, at least at that point, had said that they've adopted it, and then there's probably some other flavors as well that we, may want to either expand the grammar or.
Yep.
But yeah, I should definitely update that link to be this link instead of the other one. So. Okay, so I don't know, like if it sounds like maybe you're willing to do some research. If you then shared that research, we could then, I'll read those things. And
Yep.
are you
Okay.
At the conference next week?
No, I'm afraid not.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was just wondering if we should make it a topic or not, but otherwise we should probably then
I
almost.
mean, if it's an option to dial in, I'm happy to dial in. But other than that, yeah.
Okay. We'll figure out how to get together and shoot forward once we've got the initial research.
Sure. Yep. Okay.
Any other things people want to talk about this week?
I put a link into, sorry, I just put a link into that podcast about how GitHub are approaching funding, because that was news to me. There's a lady called Devon, and it might be interesting to other people. I'll try and get a transcript of it for us.
Okay. Sounds good. Any other things? So you put the link into where?
Q&A section, QA and other in the document.
Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I don't see anything there.
Oh, do I need to, I see it. I see it, the QA and other in the document on the link. So if you move your mouse down to the fourth line from the bottom, fourth section from the bottom, there you go. Over the link, overcast.fm. something or other. You don't see that?
I don't see anything.
Do other people see that? On the Zoom link? It just may not have updated on your end.
Okay, in the chat. Okay, because I click on Q&A, I see no open questions. Is that where I should be clicking, or is it somewhere?
Yeah, it's actually on the Zoom link, so it must have saved, because I do see it on your on the link here on the video.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I don't know what's.
Let me refresh my side. But anyway, we don't want to keep people. I'll make sure it gets on there.
If you paste it into the, I see, put it into the, right. Okay, not the Q&A in Zoom, but in the, okay. Yes, now I see it in the doc itself. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I was looking at, there's a Q&A under Zoom. Okay, if there's nothing else, looking forward to seeing everybody at Node+JS Interactive next week. The next meeting, I'm probably going to be away. I don't know if anybody else can volunteer to chair, or I don't know if a bunch of people will be away because it's the vacation season. I guess I'll open an issue to see if people are around.
Yeah, open an issue. I'm thinking 2 weeks. I'm in the office that week, and I'm out next week. So I think between Edgar and I, we should better do something.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, everybody, talk to everybody later.
Cheers.
Bye.